Welcome to Hamilton Island Jet Ski Tours. Today, we will be enjoying the pristine waters and natural environment of the Whitsunday Islands. Jet ski riding is deemed a risk activity, and as such, your guide will take you through the relevant legislation and compliance with state laws, followed by a practical examination to ensure your safety and the safety of others while on the water. Before we begin the safety briefing, please inform your guide if you have any medical conditions to be aware of. Prior to completing the practical and theory assessment, there is a section at the bottom of your indemnity form stating that you understand that this is a risk activity, that you have no injuries, you are not pregnant, nor are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol. You will need to have this completed, signed, and checked off by staff prior to moving forward. Ensure your passenger has read, understands, and has signed the appropriate sections so they too are fully aware of all risks involved. At this time, you must also acknowledge the pillion passenger is over the age of 12. The on-water test will involve a series of basic drills. If you do not pass this test or feel you do not want to continue, a full refund will be offered. You will need to be deemed competent prior to taking part on the tour. If anyone needs to bring any medication while we are out on the water today, we will place them safely in the tour guide's glove box. Now to the legislation. As a participant on our jet ski tour today, you are deemed as being the master of your jet ski and as such have a general safety obligation placed upon you with a duty of care to operate the craft safely under Queensland maritime law. In Queensland, you are required to have a personal watercraft licence to operate a jet ski unless you are operating a jet ski under the instruction of a coxswain. Today, you will be required to follow all the instructions of your tour guide, who is a qualified and registered coxswain for Queensland waters. Part of this legislation states that all jet ski riders to stay directly behind the tour guide at all times and to follow one by one in single file throughout the whole tour without overtaking. On the tour, you will be experiencing a lot of sea spray and glare from the water. We ask that you keep your sunglasses on to prevent sea spray from getting in your eyes and clouding your vision. We do have sunglass straps available for purchase at the jet ski office and have storage for personal items. Being in tropical North Queensland, the weather varies day to day. In the unlikely event of extreme weather conditions such as strong winds or heavy rain, the guide will stop the tour and provide further instructions. Now, let's acquaint ourselves with our jet skis. You and your passenger will be required to wear a life jacket at all times during the tour. When putting on your life jacket, be sure that it fits tightly and all clips are securely fastened. Your tour guide will double check that you're wearing your life jacket correctly. Once you are sitting on the jet ski, your tour guide will demonstrate how to connect the jet ski's emergency stop or kill switch to your life jacket clip. The guide will instruct you on the starting procedures of your jet ski using the red button here. To start the engine, you must hold the button in for at least 3 seconds.
Due to our new fleet of jet skis, the ski will not start if you have either the green or black lever engaged. The green lever on the right hand side of the handlebars is the throttle. Your guide will explain its operation. When your guide pushes you out onto the water, they are going to signal you to push the red start button on the handlebars to see that you can start and then also stop the jet ski. You will also be asked to demonstrate how to operate the steering correctly. The black lever on the left engages neutral with one tap or brake by holding in. You are not to use the brake feature unless specifically instructed to. Incorrect use of this feature could lead to injury if used incorrectly.
Now for the man overboard drill. Your guide will first demonstrate this drill, then you will be required to do the same to be deemed competent. You will see the guide throw a float into the water. The guide will maneuver their ski towards the float and shut off the engine. Once the simulated passenger has climbed back onto the jet ski from the rear, the guide will restart the engine and move off. Be aware that if the float drifts near the rocks, not to follow it. While on the jet ski tour, we will use hand signals to communicate. Touching the top of your head with your right hand is the OK signal. Your tour guide will action this signal throughout the tour to ask if you are okay. To confirm that you are okay, you need to relay the same signal back to your tour guide, touching the top of your head with your right hand. The brake or slow down signal is achieved by raising your left fist in the air above your head to signal to others that you are slowing down or stopping your jet ski. The signal will be used frequently on the tour, and all riders are required to acknowledge by repeating the gesture for the message to flow down to the last jet ski. The distress signal involves waving both hands above your head in a crossing motion to signal to your guide and to others that you are in distress and are in need of help. The guide may slide their hand across their neck, like this, to advise all riders to shut off their engines. When you see your guide raise their finger and rotate their hand in a circular motion, you are to engage neutral gear and wait for their next point of direction. Now, let's talk about safety while on tour. A jet ski needs water propulsion to steer, so when you turn around corners, you have to continue to accelerate. If you stop accelerating, you will not be able to steer and the jet ski will track straight ahead until it comes to a stop. For your safety, our jet skis are speed governed to comply with law regulating the commercial operation of jet ski tours. Your tour guide will also regulate the speed of the tour depending on the conditions you will experience today. The jet skis are most stable and maneuverable at full throttle. For a smooth and more enjoyable tour for all guests, we will be running at full throttle where possible. Please advise the guide immediately if you are uncomfortable at this speed. At all times you will need to be a minimum of 60 meters apart with a maximum of 100 meters. If you were to damage a jet ski today by accidental collision, be aware a $1,000 excess applies to cover damages. If you follow the instructions of your guide, staying 60 meters apart and being mindful of all other watercraft, you will have little risk of being involved in an accident. Maritime law states that you must always give way to your right and pass all vessels left side to left side. While we are on tour today, your safety is our highest priority, so our procedure is to give way to absolutely everyone, from every direction, whether it is a small kayak or a large ferry. This means you must remain vigilant and aware of approaching traffic in order to slow down or stop if a risk of collision exists. If you see another vessel coming close to your position, raise your arm for the slow down stop signal to alert following jet skis. Your guide will return to your position to assess. When we're on tour, we have to be aware of coral reefs, anchorages, and navigational hazards. This is why it is extremely important that you follow your tour guide's path, as it is their job to keep you away from these hazards at all times. As you will be under the supervision of your tour guide today, you will not be taken through any waters where there is a depth of 60 centimeters or less. In the unlikely event that you were to run aground, immediately turn your jet ski off, raise your hands above your head to signal the distress sign, and your guide will come to your aid. If your jet ski loses power, if you have any problems at all today, or you feel unsafe at any time, wave your hands above your head and signal to your guide for assistance. We are well prepared if there are any emergencies today. Your tour guide's jet ski contains a tow rope, V-sheets, first aid kit, and a handheld radio and mobile phone. If by any chance your tour guide gets injured or knocked unconscious, take the mobile phone out of your guide's yellow case in their glove box and read the instructions on how to make a call to the marina office or jet ski tours base. Just as a safety warning, if your jet ski catches fire, jump straight off into the water and swim away. If at any stage you feel you are falling off your jet ski, please let go of your handlebars and let yourself fall into the water. Every driver has a kill switch which is attached to their life jacket, so if you fall off the jet ski, this will stop the engine immediately. On the rear of the jet ski is a pull-down step ladder. Should you fall off your jet ski, use this ladder to climb back on. To do this, you will need to use your knee on the ladder step, grab the handles on the back of the jet ski and use them to pull yourself back on board. Jet skis are quite stable, however there is a small chance that your ski could capsize on the tour. If you happen to capsize your jet ski, do not attempt to right the ski yourself, as further damage may occur or an injury sustained. Your guide will come to your assistance and they will right the jet ski for you. If any rider witnesses someone fall off or a jet ski capsize, they are to signal the rest of the tour to stop. Signaling the guide is also important should a collision occur at any stage. Please remember this is a jet ski tour, and freestyling and skylarking is not permitted, and that the guide may cancel the tour and return to the marina, reporting any incidents to Maritime Safety Queensland, who may take action against you. As we head out of the channel in front of the marina, you are not to go more than 8 kilometers an hour and are to follow your guide at all times. At slow speeds, make small steering adjustments, as overcorrecting can cause the ski to rock from side to side and become unstable. Watch what the guide ski is doing, and be very wary of expensive boats you will be passing. Remember, if you feel you are not totally in control at any time, either take your hands off the throttle or pull out the kill switch and signal for assistance. When you are outside of the marina, your guide will group the tour together, relay any further instructions, and after a couple of photos, you will be on your way. All photos will be available in the jet ski hut at the conclusion of your tour. Your guide will then accelerate away from the group and turn to the right or left, indicating 60 meters. One at a time, riders are to follow the person in front, waiting until they reach the 60-meter mark, then accelerating behind, maintaining this distance at all times. The jet ski in front of you will create two white lines of wake, which are called the racetrack. All you have to do is stay inside the racetrack at all times, in single file and with no overtaking. If the person in front of you happens to go outside of these lines for any reason, do not follow them. They could be riding close to a reef, and we do not want you to follow someone else into danger. Your tour guide will stop the tour and everyone will wait for that person to get back in line and carry on from there. As a tip to all riders, we recommend you bend your knees when going over waves or wake. This will help prevent any injuries. Please remember that as a participant in our jet ski tour today, you are the master of your jet ski and you have a general safety obligation placed upon you with the duty of care to operate the craft safely under Maritime Safety Queensland requirements, and you agree that you are solely responsible for any damages or injuries while on tour. Hamilton Island Jet Ski Tours takes no responsibility for any loss, damages or injury to any participants while on tour today, and advise that jet skiing is deemed a risk activity, and should you elect to continue with the tour today, you are doing so at your own risk. After this briefing, or during your on-water competency test, if you feel the activity is not for you, or you are not willing to accept the risk of jet skiing, please advise your guide immediately, who will then arrange a full refund. We would now ask that you complete your indemnity form, making sure you have ticked all the boxes down the right-hand side of the page, that it is signed and dated by you and your passenger. If there is anything you are unsure of, please ask your tour guide. Remember, your tour guide will be taking photos of you on the tour, so make sure you give them a big smile and a wave. Now you are ready to get out there and have some fun. We hope you have a safe and enjoyable tour.